Hello, welcome to our Entrepreneurs of Color Spotlight. Our Entrepreneurs of Color Spotlight highlights an entrepreneur's business journey. My name is Yi, and today I am with a very special guest. Her name is Serria Morris. And before I introduce her, I just want to say that our Entrepreneurs of Color Spotlight is brought to you by the Appleton Public Library, the ColorBold Business Association, and UW-Madison Division of Extension with the sheer mission to support and empower business owners of color in Northeast Wisconsin. I would also like to thank WACMA and Hmong Wisconsin Chamber of Commerce for sponsoring our Entrepreneurs of Colors. All right. Okay. So I would like to now introduce you all to Serria Morris, who is the owner of Here by Serria LLC, and her salon is located in Neenah, Wisconsin. She has been doing hair for 15 years, and she specializes in all types of hair. I mean, all types. From wigs to braiding to extensions to coloring, you name it, she does it all. So she's bringing a lot of her West Coast ideas to the Midwest. And I would like to now introduce you to Serria Morris. Hi, Serria.
Hi, hello everyone. It's a pleasure.
All right. So before I ask Surya to talk more about herself, if there are any questions that you have, please the box comment and ask your questions. All right. So how are you doing today, Surya?
You're doing great. Happy Tuesday to everybody. So I'm doing well. I hope everyone is doing well as well. And yourself.
Awesome. First, can you tell me more about yourself?
Yes. So my name is Serria Morris, middle initial Alicia, or middle name. So sometimes I go by Serria Alicia as my stylist name. So a little bit of my upbringing. I come from a very humble upbringing. Originally from Milwaukee. Like you mentioned, I did move out to California for a couple of years as well. Um, but I'm a product of, Native American, Mexican, African American, and European background. So I share a very diverse background and upbringing. And that actually has served a great purpose for myself because I was able to kind of take that diverse background and say, okay, I have all this different type of hair on my head. So as growing up, I always would have problems with finding different stylists and things of that sort growing up. And I used to always complain to my mom about, can't find a stylist and things of that sort. And one day, what started this journey of this hair by Serria was that she said, if you, stop complaining and fix it. And after that, I was just on this journey of trying to figure out how I can make the hair industry more inclusive from there.
I love it. That story is so inspiring. And for someone who has, like, if they haven't met you and they hear that story and they're inspired by it and they're like, I want you to be my hairstylist.
Yes, yes, exactly.
So you did talk a little bit about, growing up, people couldn't do your hair the way that you liked. You couldn't find a hairstylist that was able to meet those needs. So was that what motivated you to become a hairstylist, or what was the motivation behind it?
Yeah, so I started my mom actually and my dad put me and my sisters into a German immersion school. And I think that started a whole aspect of cultural awareness, right? So now growing up in a home where we would speak Spanish, I eventually started learning Spanish and things of that sort. That kind of navigated my path in that not only do I have this crazy hair that I need to find a stylist for, I also took that and saw the world at a different lens of opportunity. So, my mom passed along a lot of different virtues, and one was patience, because my hair was so hard to work with. I remember having that hair day that all my sisters would line up and we would just actually be able to have that hair day to get it done. And I think that was such an inspiration to me that, she was passing along that virtue of patience. And that was going to also help guide this path with getting this business opened. But having that exposure to culture also let me know that I didn't want to leave anyone out, because even though I learned German and I learned that culture and having a Mexican ancestry as well, it kind of basically give that whole aspect of inclusiveness to me right away. I said, I want to make the hair industry more inclusive. So that started that journey. And then that's how we actually got this started with doing the Hair by Serria LLC.
Okay.
So that's what started that.
Yeah, and so you talked about, your your mission for your business is it's like specializing all hair types, right? And you talked a lot about being, inclusive. Can you
Yes.
give an example of how do you provide inclusiveness, like the type of services that you
Yes.
include in that?
Excellent. Yes. And thank you for pointing that out. So, I've been doing hair for now for 15 plus years. I was able to go out to California and get 22 certifications in hair. But my journey took me on a totally different path. I started in rehabilitation centers, working with hair there, nursing homes, things of that sort. Later, going to disabled veterans, going in home and things of that sort. And then also having my private clients where I will actually have them come to me where I can do their hair. What's so exciting about all that, I didn't know at that time that I had found my what I was able to offer the hair industry, the inclusiveness. Not only was I able to provide hair care service in the salon, I now can go in home. I now can also, I was traveling, I can go to facilities and things of that sort. So I was already making that inclusive. And then later on, you find out not only can you do, braiding, I started off as a master barber, eventually started learning braiding and, hair extensions and color and perms and chemical relaxing and things of that sort for all different hair types. And then when I was out in California, I was able to, learn different cultures and, different hair types there too. So all that exposure just kind of basically got us into this thing of model that we needed to change up all hair types united. And we now are we pride ourselves on that we're all hair types united for everybody. So everyone has a place to come and feel that I never, out of 15 plus years, had to turn anyone away that walked into the salon were able to do their hair. And that makes me so proud to have this business. Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. And I know that you are very few artists in the community that actually specialize in extension as well. So did you also learn about extension in California too then?
I did. I learned about hair extensions and all different hair types. When I was going to school, when I finished in 99 and then moved out there in 2005, fusion was in, it was a big thing with fusion, extensions, things of that sort. So I was able to learn that on all different hair types. So one thing that I learned in one hair type for extensions and braiding and, sew-in styles and wig styling and wig
Mhm.
play hair too and fantasy hair, I was able to learn on all different hair types. So yes, so it's not just one hair type that we're able to do that on. I can actually provide those services for all.
That's amazing, Surya. Another thing that I see that you're also doing in the community is also offering here workshop classes. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yes. So besides like our, kind of special events that we have for the community, sometimes offering free haircuts to communities and hair services and educational tools, now we're merging into this hair workshop classes, Fox Cities. We're so excited about it because it's not only going to offer do-it-yourself techniques, hair art, it's going to offer a full platform where people can come in and sign up for certain classes to learn how to do the new hair trends, understand their hair type, get educated on some products. Great for parents that adopt children with different ethnicities of hair, where they can come in and get educated as well. And also help with that growth and development phase for teens and things of that sort too. Now they can come in and feel like they're accepted, learning different textures, opening up the platform to learn about different cultures. So we're excited about offering that to the community, and that'll be launching in April. So we're really excited about that as well.
Okay, that's awesome. Do you know where the classes will be hosted at in April?
Yeah, so we will be hosting them in Nina, actually in the same building where we have the hair, the hair salon. So we will be offering it in Nina as well. And then eventually, offering at different sites too. And what's great is that we're going to service all different ages, looking at from 7, and then also seniors, where they can have a drop-off day for seniors where they can come in and learn, some kind of braiding for memory and things of that sort too. So we want to capture everyone in the community and have something for everybody.
Okay. So when you first started your business, I know you've been doing hair for 15 years, but when you moved back to Appleton, or did you move back to Milwaukee and then Appleton?
Yes, I did. And
Okay. Um, okay, and then you opened your salon in Nina. So when you first opened, did you receive a lot of support from the community? And how was that like compared, to a bigger city like Los Angeles and in California where you lived?
yeah, so what was so unique is when I moved back from California and I moved to Milwaukee, I'm like, wow, this is so different, right? But then I saw that need. I was like, okay, the Fox Cities area has that need of that growing diverse
Mhm.
population. And I just knew that there was a need here. When I started the business, I didn't have, collateral to put into this business when I started 15 years ago. I worked a full-time job, worked my business, worked real estate, went to school full time, because I knew I was going to need all those collaterals and all that education and responsibility to put down on this and sacrifice. So when I saw that here and I said there's an opportunity where we can provide this for all different cultures, I just knew that this was the place to start launching at it and getting that out in the open. Before that, I was just going in home to facilities and working with ADRC, which I still do that as well. But then I said, we need to launch this and get in Nina, where it's a kind of a spot where people can get to highway wise as well.
Okay. So, I think what's really unique about your story and many other entrepreneurs' story is that you start because there's a need, right? And there's a want that the community that you see that is not existing here in the community. So I think that's really important. And so I just wanted to know, like, um, what are your plans for the future for your business, and what do you see your business 5 years from now?
Wow, I see it. Like I always tell people, if you keep growing hair, you're going to keep us in business, right? The hair
Mhm.
industry is ever changing. So it's one of those industries that you can take it as far as you want. I'm glad we started on the footing that all hair types united, because we can go so many places with that. With these hair workshop classes, we're excited for that. We see that definitely very much growing here in the future. And also with the hair business, going into more of like an educational phase eventually with that hair business and merging that into maybe schooling or things of that sort, where we can also offer that to the community. And not only people, we're offering a service that they can come now and learn as a student to give back to their community and their own cultural need, but also learning about other cultures as well. So that's where I see it in the future too.
Yeah, that's so important. I can see you being a really great instructor, especially with your background, being in around different cultures and studying in California. I think that's a lot of skills and knowledge that you will bring here to our community, and you would definitely be a great instructor for that, Serria.
Thank
So yeah, and
Yes.
so I also want to know, like, okay, as a new um someone who's thinking of starting a business in the hair industry, or just to any business owners who's looking at starting a business, what is your advice that you would give to them?
My strong advice is something my mom has always told me. If you have a will, you'll make a way. And that is
Mhm.
the biggest thing. You have to have the vision. You always have to have something that you're working on every day towards that vision. And I say, get around somebody that can not that can entertain your vision. Some people would say that's just so big. How are you going to do that? Well, you're going to do that by every day putting something towards it. Maybe it's going to be putting an idea towards it, getting someone more involved into it. But every day you can do that. And you will do it because you will gain passion behind it. And anything that you're passionate about it, you will succeed because passion will be your motivation. And on the days that it doesn't seem like you want to get up and do it, that will be your motivation to keep it going. So find your passion, find your will, and get around people that can mentor you and share your vision with you.
Yeah, no, that's a beautiful advice. I think passion is so important,
Yes.
especially because outside of my library career, I'm also a business owner, and if I'm not passionate about what I'm doing, it's really hard to create that product for your customers. And I think you touch on a really good advice for new aspiring entrepreneurs who are looking at starting any business, not just the hair industry, but in any
Yes.
type of business.
Yes,
So
exactly. Yeah. And I really just think it just comes with an idea, and
mhm.
something that need, and you have to know your what and your why. My why was always my driving point. When I would go to nursing homes, rehabilitation centers, did I think I was going to start there with doing hair? No. But that was my why because I can see these people light up after they got their hair done. And I knew that I was bringing something that they could feel. They could feel my passion and it was making them feel better, and when you have your what and you have your why and you have that, there's nothing, you're the only person that can bring it to life. So you just got to nurture that like a baby and make sure that you can make that manifest, and you will. So yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
What is one challenges of
Yeah.
being a business owner for you?
Yes, one challenge I would say is working with other people. That's always a challenge because you're working with people that are not you. You
Mhm.
can maintain yourself. You know exactly, you'll start to learn how to motivate yourself, what to do, but other people, you have to also be able to motivate others. One thing I learned is that when you achieve, you have to look back and bring people with you. You have to look back and always keep giving. And why that is a necessity is because you're also learning as you're giving. You're learning about that person. They're giving you knowledge on your next thing. And that is very important to have that pull factor where you're actually able to push and pull your whole way through your career. And that's with anything. In order to,
Mhm.
you have to keep learning. And I think just always keep being teachable is important. And that has helped me too. A lot of people say, well, you've been doing it for 15 plus years. Are you done yet? Absolutely not. Like, I feel like
Mhm.
I just got on the cusp of it.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like that too. Like even as like a business owner, like it's just like, yeah, it's great. But next day is gonna be challenging too. So here I go starting back again, getting back into the move of things. So I just think taking that day and saying today will be successful, having that mindset is gonna be important to be able to drive that home.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, just listening to your story in such a short amount of time, like what I am taking away from you, Surya, is you're not just providing a unique service, but you're like an educator. You're also leaving like a legacy behind, teaching people how to care for their hair and to feel like they're beautiful, no matter what, like their skin is, or if they their hair type is as well too. Like that to me is so inspiring. And um yeah, you're this individual that I just met you, and I'm just like, I
Yeah.
I want to know more about her. And um just continuing to be, motivated by the work that you do. I think that that just is so beautiful to me as I'm sitting here and I'm listening to your story, that it's about the people. You care so much about the people, and that's why you're doing such good work.
Oh, thank you. Yes. And it's always about that. I feel like that you have that power, like, and I know you feel that way too when someone comes into your
Mhm.
restaurant. You have that power to bring that experience. And I feel that way as well. What I have that power when someone sits in that chair.
Mhm.
That's a lot of power that's given to me. I can take that and mess it up, or I can really
Yeah.
make it a great experience. And I always say, and I always give this, together we stand, divided we fall by Winston Churchill, is that we have
Mhm.
to we have to give back. We have to unify and be able to have those services where we can have that open platform where we can talk. I've learned so much with having people of all different careers, all different
Mhm.
nationalities, all different culture backgrounds sit in my chair, and was everyone was able to share something I didn't know. And I walk away from that every day and I'm like, I didn't know that.
Mhm.
So, and
Yeah.
so the interesting factor of it, like I'm in this industry and people are like, sometimes hairstylists can be, we're listening to everything too at the same time.
Mhm.
So you need to learn when you really make it about that person that's sitting in your seat. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know. I learn from individuals every single day, new things all the time too. But do you have like a mentor that you actually look up to that because you talk about you always learn new things from people,
Yeah.
but is there a mentor that you have a lot of respect for and that has taught you a lot of the things that you're currently doing now?
Yes, well, my mentor, I have a very strong background in faith. And, that is like my driving factor to getting
Mhm.
up every day and saying, why am I here? My purpose, in life. So that's always been my driving factor. My grandmother was my strongest mentor, as well as my mom, seeing very strong women in my background. But I think definitely having that opportunity where they were able to sit down. I was always the person in a room of older people and listening to what they would say, giving that
Mhm.
wisdom. And I always would take that on and then expand on it and ask questions. So I would have to say my mom and my grandmother were my mentors. My grandmother, especially, I had all these ideas when I was like 10 years old, and she would say, "Oh, you can do that. You can do that too." She never said you couldn't. And it kind of puts that in your mind, and I remember my mom saying, never say I can't, speaking that in fruition, always making sure that you say I can. And so those little things with the mentoring has always helped too, because it's guided me as an adult too when it comes to challenging times, to have to use them.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah. No, that's so powerful that yes, you can. There's nothing you
Yes.
can't.
Yes.
Yeah, and receiving that support from your
Yes.
family, especially your grandma and your mom.
Yes.
That's how I'm like too. I get a lot of support like that from my family, my mom, and I can relate to that with you too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, is there anything else that you want to add, Serria, that we didn't touch on that you want our viewers to hear about before we leave?
Yes, well, I want to just share with everyone that the hair industry is a changing industry, is one that's going to be around forever. So, when we're talking about entrepreneurs, when we're talking about people that are looking to even start any type of business, but definitely the hair industry, is becoming an industry that it needs more diversity. And, we're on that brink right now where it's becoming a little bit more inclusive with some aspects of, products and things of that sort. But I think it'd be great to have an opportunity where more people of diversity would come into this industry and just feel that they have something to offer, either it be a product or either it be a, educational tool or things of that sort, just to educate and also offer that to their own communities. I think is great.
Mhm.
Yes, it does take a lot. It takes a lot of motivation, investment in going to school, taking boards, things of that sort. But it's so worth it. So I just want to encourage anyone that's looking to get into this industry. You can find me. I can help to be a mentor. And, we're ever changing with our business models and what we're adding and different platforms, offering now where people can, you know, um, make their appointments in their own native tongue, whether it be Spanish or German, hopefully Hmong soon.
Mhm.
Well, so we're just excited to offer those new tools so that everyone can feel like they're welcome. So I'm just welcoming anyone who's ready to get into this industry to come on board, and however I can help as well, you let me know.
Thank you, Serria. Those are so many great advices and words of encouragement for anyone who's thinking of starting their own business or just wanting to become a hairstylist like you. So, as Serria said, if you need a mentor, she's available to help assist.
Yeah,
And I do have the link of her Facebook page. It's here by Serria. You can follow her and also go check out her business in Nina. And it's almost 30 minutes already. Time goes by so fast when you're listening to such a great, inspiring interview. I just want to say thank you to Serria. Thank you to everyone who joined us today for Entrepreneurs of Color Spotlight. Remember, Facebook, you can follow Serria there. And we look forward to you joining us the next time. Thank you, everyone.
thank you. Thank you.